Hey, what's up guys? For about a year now on this custom 44 that we're building, it's been exterior panel this, exterior panel that, wheel this up, roll this flange, plenish this out, fit this, fit that, tack this. Well, today I decided to clean up the interior. All the time I was working on the exterior panels, I got thinking and I got looking, and I wonder how much dust has actually gotten in under the cover. Like we had all this taped up and it was supposed to be clean. But after I uncovered it, like look at this, it's black. And then I got thinking, well, how much dust is actually in behind the bezels? So I popped the bezels out. And same thing, it's brutal. So what we're gonna do today is kind of detail the interior a bit. We can't give the car back looking like this. So basically, to clean this up, we're gonna start in the center and work our way out with this. What's that? I didn't hear you. I had my ears plugged. You're asking why we're cutting this dash up? Well, it's a Mustang dash. It looks like a Mustang dash. We can't give the car back looking like this. We're going to have to customize it a little bit, just like the exterior. What do you think we're going to do? I'm not sure if you saw in the earlier videos when we had the hood up and I was working on the interior structural panels, but the hood is way up here. And you can actually see into the engine compartment. And well, I don't think you want to do that. Unless we could set some gauges up there, that would look cool. But what the plan is take and remove this top cover. We're going to take and extend up from the gauges, up into the hood line with the new fresh dash top. And we're going to fabricate that and get that installed. And we'll also have to create a blank that goes down into the lower windshield area and basically seals off that space. So give me a few minutes to get this top off and then we'll see what we have to work with. We're literally melting the dash off as we're cutting it. Now, I didn't want to pull the steering wheel off, so I think you have to be a very careful exercise to get in there with the zip blade. It doesn't feel too good when it sticks to your skin, that hot melting plastic. I think we're making some headway. Cut, I guess they have some reinforcements in here, so we cut through that, and we're getting a little bit more motion, but I don't think I've got all the way through up into here. Now we're getting somewhere. There's a seam here, so it looks like the dash will separate there. Now, for the Mustang guys out there who have had a dash like this apart, yes, you can separate the top from the bottom, but this actually, we need part of the top section in place. That's why I'm not unbolting it. I'm just separating the dash top pad from itself, really, because we're going to take and form up a new section, like I mentioned earlier, up into the top. These bezels will probably remain the same. We'll just take off from the top of them and go up into the hood area. So right now I've got most of this loosened up here, and I'm just trying to open things up to get a better view. Now, the ducting, we're going to have to take and reconfigure that, obviously. These we'll probably get rid of since we have these here, and we can just aim them up at the windows that way. So with the top section now removed, we still retain all these areas here. These vents will be gone. We'll redirect to actually cap these off on the ends. Retain this, we'll have to make an extension up to the new height, and we'll form up a new piece. After we get these bezels back in place, we'll lay out some lines, figure out where the new piece is going to start, and roll up a new piece, cut around the A-pillars, and into the top of the hood, or just below the back edge of the hood, just so that we have a nice flowing dash. It doesn't exactly look like a Mustang. But before we run away, we have one more thing to do. Now that we have the top of the dash out, which is a really neat piece, if we could have used it, we would have, but just the way everything was blended in, we needed some of these, well, these areas through here. These areas extend up into the top of the dash. We would have had to cut it anyway. Right now, all I have to do is undo a couple screws, remove these parts that we cut away, and we can basically save the top, well, except for the vents. They got nicked a little bit. So now that we finished cleaning up and demustangizing the dash, create our own custom dash for the 40 Ford, we're gonna do the same thing for these door panels. Now look at all this dust, it's terrible. You can't have that. And you can also probably see the cut lines that I've outlined. And we're gonna take this door panel, I can see you shaking your head, but just wait and watch. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna take and modify this door because the window line is now up here on the 40 Ford, not here. This was a Mustang. So we're gonna have to take and elevate this top section of the door into here. We're gonna have a big gap here, so we'll have to fill that. We'll do that later. These Mustang doors are way too long, door panels are way too long, and they're actually angled on the back. Our door is more upright. So I'm gonna take and cut that apart in such a way that we're gonna kind of reconfigure it and fix it on screws for now, so that we can establish a new shape for the door panel. And then at that point, once everything fits and we make sure everything works, then we'll start filling in the blanks. And for that, we'll probably use fiberglass, which is way out of my comfort zone. With sheet metal, I'm pretty good. I can get the job done, but with fiberglass, look out because it's gonna be everywhere. But that's what we're gonna have to do to get these door panels modified and reconfigured to the new shape. For now, let's get cutting. This time I did the smart thing. I wore gloves and a face shield because when I was cutting in the car, all that hot and melting plastic that was coming off the zip blade was sticking to my skin and it wasn't a very fun experience. So this should be a little more comfortable to cut these panels up. There's not much left now. I don't think there's any turning back, but hey, we'll see what happens. Hopefully everything falls into place. Got my fingers crossed. So while we're at it, let's cut up the rest of the interior panels. Because hey, once you get going, why stop, right? Wow, that's a lot of plastic we just cut up. And I'm thinking that I may have bitten off more than I can chew. I've modified small cosmetic plastic pieces for interiors, but never this much. But hey, we'll see what happens. If it doesn't turn out, you guys get some entertainment. So what we're gonna do now is go grab the bezel for the gauges and maybe for the centerpiece. And I just wanna see how it's gonna look in the car. And we'll mock things up. I might even get a strip of sheet metal, yeah, sheet metal, and bend it up into a profile for the new dash top. Well, we're back in the car and we've got the bezels here. So let's make sure the steering wheel is down all the way. I think so, okay. That ducting, we're gonna take and remove that later. Let's see, let's clip this in. Okay, that's there. Oh, perhaps I should have put this piece in first. That's how it came apart. And I'm guessing that's what holds the bezel in place. Don't need that, garbage. Clean that up. Okay. Now I apologize to all the people who own Mustangs because this did hurt a little bit cutting into this plastic here, into this dash. Okay, so that's snapped in there. Yep, there we go. That's why that was loose. And that snaps in there. And of course I don't have, oh, there we go. So that just snapped in. Now we have some burrs and whatever hanging out here, but as you can see, we've totally opened the top of this dash up. In terms of sunlight affecting your gauges, they're sunken into the pod so deep that it's not gonna affect that, you know, the glare or whatever. What we're gonna do once this is gone, we'll probably form up a new piece that comes along the top here. We'll have the airbag module installed. We're not going to form up a piece of sheet metal today because there's no hood in place yet. So we're going to pretend with our hand and just wave our hand back and forth like this and just imagine that the dash comes up into the hood area there. That'll be gone and that'll go all the way across. And we might even install an Android head unit into here, modify the vents. We'll see. There are a number of possibilities we can consider. And the top will be textured and look just like that plastic here. We thought about smoothing that out, but we want a factory OEM appearance, kind of, and we'll replicate that on the top piece. And these pieces, we might paint them the body color or an accent color. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode from Inside the Car. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and see you next time.